Hello, and everyone. We're looking at the 2.14 lesson practice now. So you can see we have our lesson summary talking about the boundary line and how it can be either solid or dashed, and then whether we're shading above or below is our solution reason. So let's take a look at slide 2. It says, here's the graph of this equation. Which of these points is a solution to the inequality x plus 2y is less than 7? So we can plug in our points. We have 0, 7 for the first one, where x is 0 and 7 is y. So 0 plus 2 times 7 is 0 plus 14. And of course, we're going to notice 14 is not less than 7, so that won't work. We can try 10, 0, where our x is 10 and our y is 0. So we have 10 plus 2 times 0 is less than 7. 10 plus 0 is 10, which is not less than 7. So that also doesn't work. We can try 0, 0, where that's our x and our y. So we have 0 plus 2 times 0 is less than 7. 0 plus 0 is 0. And finally, that is less than 7. Yay! So that one does work for question 1. So go ahead and plug that in and then push ahead to slide 3. We finally got a true inequality statement. Click to graph all the solutions of x plus 2y is less than 7. So this is the same, this is the same one from slide 2. So we know 0, 0 is a solution. So we're definitely going to shade below. Since we have just the less than symbol, we want to make that line dashed. So we click the line and it makes it dashed, and then we have all of the solutions below the line are going to be in the solution category. Beautiful. Slide 4 says, here's an inequality, x plus y less than or equal to negative 2. Ada graph the equation x plus y equals negative 2. And notice that 0, 0 is not a solution. So how can Ada use that information to graph the solutions to this inequality? So since 0, 0 is not a solution, we will want to shade the other side, meaning we shade below the line. So we're going to shade below the line all over here, like so, because 0, 0 is not part of our solution set. So there's our shading. Beautiful. And it's going to stay solid because we have less than or equal to, so it stays that solid line, and we have our graph. Beautiful. Next slide when you're ready. It says Brianna is creating a graph for the inequality 2x minus 5y greater than 10. She says that since the inequality has a greater than symbol, she should shade the region above. Is she correct? So what we're going to start to notice is we can solve these inequalities and get y equals, right? So if you plug in a point that is above the line, so let's graph this line first. 2x minus 5y equals 10. So if we plug in x equals 0, we get 2 times 0 minus 5y equals 10. 2 times 0 is 0, so we get negative 5y equals 10. Divide both sides by negative 5 to get negative 2. So this point of 0, negative 2 is our y-intercept. So we plugged in 0, we got out negative 2. If we make y equal to 0, we'd get 2x minus 5 times 0 equals 10. This cancels to 0. So we have 2x equals 10. Divide both sides by 2 to get x equals 5. So 5, 0 is our x-intercept. So here's our line. like so. Beautiful. And now we can plug in 0, 0 to this inequality. So we get 2 times 0 minus 5 times 0 is greater than 10. So this is 0 minus 0 is greater than 10, which ends up just being 0 greater than 10, which is false. So we actually want to shade below the line that doesn't have 0, 0. So Brianna is not correct. We're actually shading below the line, even though we had that greater than symbol. And this would also be a dashed line, so I can put little dashes in like so, because it's just greater than. Beautiful. And when you're all set, you got everything you need here, push ahead to the next slide. Which inequality is shown on the graph? Ooh, so now we have a vertical line. So if we go back to thinking about algebra in middle school, this is a slope called undefined. Undefined, if we think of slope guy or slope, what is it? Slope dude. So when we have a vertical line, we always write the equation as x equals some number. So this goes through 5 on the x-axis, and it's solid, so it's going to have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, and it's shaded all the x values that are less than or equal to 5. To the left is less than. There we go. So this is the inequality x less than or equal to 5. Beautiful. And I'm going to hit clear. A food truck only sells hot dogs and hamburgers. They want to sell 50 items or more. So this is important for our inequality. 50 items or more each day. X is the number of hot dogs sold. Y is hamburgers. Which inequality represents the situation? So we're going to take our X plus Y, however many hamburgers and hot dogs we're selling. And we want it to be at least 50 items, right? 50 items or more. So we're going to have that be greater than or equal to 50 here. And to complete the graph, we want numbers to be greater than or equal to 50. So it's going to be above. And we have this solid line because it's greater than or equal to. If we plugged in 50, 50, right, we would get 50 plus 50 greater than or equal to 50, which, yes, that gets us 100, which is greater than or equal to 50. Check. Next slide. Problem 8. Lucy started to graph the inequality y is greater than -2, and she started by graphing that dotted line at y equals -2. So this is the line y equals -2. We see -2 as our y-intercept, and our slope is 0. How might Lucy decide where to shade? So we want numbers where y is bigger than -2. Now here's our y-axis going up and down. If we want to go greater than -2, we want to shade above. So we're going to shade above the line here, because these are going to have all the y values that are greater than -2. So how did she decide? We looked at that inequality symbol, or pick a point and plug it in, right? If we pick this point here, this point is 4, 7. Our x is 4 and our y is 7. 7 is bigger than -2. That's true. It works. So we want to shade in that above section. And let's go on the next page. Some spiral reviews here. The equation of line A is y equals -2x minus 1. Select all the points that are on line A. So let's just graph this line. -2x minus 1 means, remember this is in slope-intercept form, mx plus b. Our y-intercept is -1. So we're going to put a dot on -1 at the y-axis. And our slope, m, is -2. So from that y-axis, we go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And we can keep making this line here, like so. And then we can go the other direction. Perfect. So -2, comma 3 is on the line. Oops, let me get my pen. So that one works. This is -2, comma 3. 0, comma 4 is not on the line. That would be this point here. 1, comma -3 is right here on the line. -1, -3 is down here, not on the line. And then 2, comma 5 is up here, not on the line. So we have two points here that are on the line. Beautiful. Next slide says Lola can spend up to $15 on pens and notebooks. A pen is $2 and a notebook is $1.50. If P is the number of pens and N is the number of notebooks, then we are going to do 2P, since each pen is $2, plus 150N, since that's how much a notebook cost, and she can spend up to $15. So we're going to have less than or equal to $15. Beautiful. So if we wrote that, it'd be 2P plus 1.5N, and get our keyboard to do less than or equal to 15 and submit. And then finally, on slide 11, problem 11, a golf ball weighs 1.6 ounces and an empty bucket weighs 12 ounces. Neil adds golf balls one at a time to the empty metal bucket. How many golf balls will be in the bucket when the total weight is 20 ounces? I'm going to leave y'all to try and work through this one on your own. Check your answer on the reflect side. The bucket is 12 ounces, and we want to see how many balls we can put in for it to get to 20 ounces. Check your answers on slide 12, and when you're all set, my friends, make sure you are submitting this into Schoology. If you need any help from me or any questions or support, come to my Wednesday office hours or send me a message and we can find a time to meet another day. Take care of yourselves. See you next time.